What's going on, guys? A very sleepy PX Cam here, back in with a brand new video. We are here at Mount Panorama for what is a brand new week of daily racing, but it's not a brand new race. This is actually a recycled race that we did, I believe, a month or two ago. So hopefully we can use that experience that we had 2 months ago to try to get ourselves into a position to get either a podium or a win, as we're going to be starting off 9th place in our USA count. But let's see what happens here as we get our 3, 2, 1, away we go as we start off right on the corner. Don't want to get started off right there because it's so easy to lose it getting onto the main straight, as some people behind have learned. But as we get into the first corner, just accidentally overshoot our braking point and we miss our apex, and already right off the back as we head into the long straight heading into the mountain section of the track, we're already on the back foot of 8th place, and we actually lost a little bit of time. So not the best of starts, but hey, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So we start working our way through the mountain here, spotting our braking point as we are on the softest compound tire, and you can see that we have gained a couple of seconds on the guys up ahead, as we have now closed the gap down to about half a second here, leading us into the most top part of the mountain. So strategy here was the softs and the medium compound tires were given to us. So it was going to be 5 laps on the softs and then 4 on the mediums. Some people did 3 on the mediums and 6 on the softs. Not the ideal strategy for me. I just felt like it wore out the softs too quickly, or not quickly, but too much when you did the 6 laps on the softs. So we decided to opt in for 5 laps on the softs and just switch off to the mediums for the last 4. And we're just going to try to push our way through, since we did have the best compound tires, and try to force our way into some positions and get as far into the field as we can. But as we come out of the mountain section here, we get a great run on the Canadian, using the slipstream, just abusing it here, going on to the left hand side, make the overtake easily into the kink, and as we head into the chicane, spot our braking point, and that is P8 for us. So shout out to the Canadian, just let us go by there and allow us to get the position, and we now set our sights on the American of Ballistix right ahead of us. So heading up into the mountain once again, there's a little bit of a scrap between the Argentinian and the American, as Ballistix just misses his breaking point, pushes out the Argentinian, and the Argentinian goes straight into the wall. And not sure what happened right there. I don't know if they had some bad blood or some history right there. As you can see, the American in 5th place is flashing his lights, but yeah, for some reason, Ballistix just took him out heading into the mountain, and yeah, that's just a very naughty move. So at this point, I'm just kind of keeping my distance away from Ballistix. Don't want to be the next person on his hit list as we head up into the mountain once again, and going down this long sweeping right-left section here down the mountain. Very fun part, but very easy to get it wrong. So we just have to be patient, spot our braking point, make sure that we're not doing anything too crazy, and it's just a roller coaster down the hill, and making sure that doesn't happen like we did right there, as we get a really bad exit, just accidentally make contact with the barrier, and due to that, we just could not get close enough to get into the slipstream and overtake Ballistix. So as we head into lap number 3, going into the first corner, braking right after the 100-meter board. This is probably going to be our best chance to get around Ballistix and just abuse that slipstream, as maybe we can get into the inside going into the mountain section. So we get that slipstream right there. Ballistix is a tad bit too far back to utilize the 5th place slipstream, and we can see right there we move into the inside, position ourselves to get the overtake, stay on the inside, make a little bit of contact with Ballistix as we hold our apex, and we get that 6th place position away from him. So up to P Steve, 3 laps into the race. I'll take it, especially because we started in P9, and now we just have to again just abuse these soft compound tires, just maximize every single amount of grip that we have on these tires, and try to catch up to the American in 5th place, and see if we can get around him before we come into the pits. Because if we come into the pits in 5th place, that can be very beneficial, as well as if we can build a gap from the cars behind, because something tells me that a couple of these guys that are behind me are on the mediums. So onto lap number 4 here. Someone actually did come into the pits on lap number 3, so that's why we were able to gain a free position due to that. And they started off on the mediums, came in and switched out on lap number 3. So this is lap number 4. This is going to be a really huge telling sign of who's going to be on the mediums, and you can see right there on the leaderboards that we had a lot of takers coming into the pits this lap, as they started off on the mediums and now they're going to be on the best compound for the race, and that is the soft. So this is a little bit worrying on my end. I'm glad that we do have a lot of open track from us to Pingu, because this is just going to allow me to put in as quick of lap times as I can, and just hopefully build a gap away from these guys that just came into the pits on the mediums. And when they're on their fastest compound tires, we should be able to hopefully keep a gap away from them and just see if we can defend as best as we can as we now start catching up to Pingu. So right here on the top of the mountain, Pingu looks like he's struggling, and not sure if it's just him struggling or if it's just the tire struggling, but something is going wrong here, as we just made up a ton of time on him, get a really great run into the middle part of the mountain. But as we come into a downhill section, you can see that we're just a lot quicker than him. We just can't get around him. It's just too risky to try to make a maneuver going into the downhill section, and we just have to stay right behind Pingu and just kind of secure our spot right there, as I believe we lost about maybe a second and a half. So all that hard work that we did trying to just build the gap away from those guys that just came into the pits was all thrown away. And now we're going to try to see if we can get around Pingu on the right hand side as we head into the kink, spot our braking point right before the chicane, and yes, we do. We get that done as Pingu just lets us have it, spot our braking point, hit our apexes, and now we're going to come into the pits here as the leaders are starting to come into the pits as well. So you can see everybody ahead opted out for the softs as we head into one of the trickiest entrants to pit road. I'm telling you guys, it's one of the most difficult pit road entrances on the game, as a lot of people have really messed it up and accidentally gone off and actually missed the pit road. So we were lucky to just get through it nice and cleanly, and we now come out in 7th place right behind Ballistix. So I told you guys, if we could put in you know, quick lap times and just avoid any trouble and just avoid getting stuck behind someone, we could have came out, you know, a really good distance away from those guys that just came into the pits. But due to the fact that we got stuck behind Pingu on the downhill section, we lost about a second, 2 seconds there, and you can see that Ballistix was able to just reel us back in on those softs, and this was the result right here as we lose P Steve to Ballistix, and now we're just trying to survive our way as we have cold tires on a harder compound, and that's usually not a good recipe to fast lap times, as we're just struggling to try to get our tires up to temp. And you can see now we're starting to get pressure from behind from the Argentinians. So heading down the downhill section, you can see that Ballistix every single corner is just extending his gap away from us, and this is not good news for us because like I said, we were supposed to be ahead of him at least by a second or a second and a half and just do everything in our possibility to try to defend. But now we're stuck here fighting for 7th with the Argentinian, and it's looking like he's going to get a great run down this straight, as it's just going to be difficult for us to defend. Usually when someone has a slipstream down this long straight, they are going to be able to secure the position, just because it's just so overpowered, the slipstream here, as we break right before the 100-meter board. See the Argentinian makes an easy move onto the inside, gets the overtake done, and all we can do right here is just try to follow him here as he defends the inside going into the final corner. Take a little peek on the outside, but just back out of the move. It was too optimistic. I did not want to get squeezed down to the grass. So heading into lap number 7, which has allowed the Argentine to get ahead of us, as we were able to gain another position due to someone in the pits. And this is going to just kind of be our fight right here, just trying to stay with TRT. Again, he's on the softer compound tires, we're on the mediums, and we get a great run down here as we use the slipstream, try to go into the left hand side, see if we can make some magic happen, brake as late as we can, but the Argentinian is just able to etch us out. Actually, a little bit of contact was made there going into the uphill part of the mountain, but it wasn't anything malicious. So we just continue on forward here as we head back into the top of the mountain, just following the Argentinian. But you can see just the grip difference, as you can see he's just pulling away. It was literally about a 1/10 of a second heading into the mountain, and within about 30 seconds he was able to extend his gap from about 10th to almost a second and a half. And like I said, this is not good news for us. We still have 2 laps left. Anything can happen, but at this point I'm just trying to ride around, make sure that the Canadian of Michael behind us does not catch up. And you can see that I'm starting to worry a little bit here. I'm starting to look behind, try to keep an eye on him, seeing where he's taking his lines to make sure that we can kind of break the toe. As you can see, we're just kind of moving to the inside, moving to the left hand side, and just trying to break the toe, because that's going to be the most important thing right here. He could catch up to us as much as he want on the mountain. He could stay right behind us, but it's going to be the straight line, or the straights section of the track, where that's going to be the most optimistic time for someone to try to make an overtake. And so that's why we have to just break the toe, make sure that we don't allow them to catch back up to our rear, and just set themselves up for the overtake, especially heading to that chicane. So on the top of the mountain with just 2 laps to go, I was not expecting anything here, but as we head into the downhill section, the Argentinian actually misses his braking point and heads straight into the wall. And you can see right there that this is going to be 6th place right here to go into the left hand side. He squeezes us into the wall, and that is not good sportsmanship right there. As you can see, he just misses his braking point going down the mountain. And you can see he sees us on the left hand side. We try to go for the overtake, and he just squeezes us into the wall to try to cover his position. And that was a little bit naughty in my opinion. But as we head off of the final corner of the mountain, we get a great run here as we're in the slipstream. So this is exactly what we needed. We get the slipstream from the Argentinian, and we should be able to cover our position away from Michael. Take a little peek onto the right hand side. He gives us plenty of room, and Michael decides to come with us as well, as we're heading almost 3 abreast into the corner, as someone behind just heads straight into the grass, goes straight into the shadow realm. And look at that, guys, we are up into P6 as we jump into the replay. Riding along with Michael, you could just see he makes a little bit of contact with the Argentinian, just goes into the grass, puts 2 tires into it, and that is a race over for Michael, as we now have the Argentinian of TRT right behind us, heading into the final corner. We still have 1 final lap that we have to just defend as best as we can, and this is probably going to be one of the most difficult laps of the week for me, as we head into turn number 1 for the final time. Just making sure we hit our braking point, make sure we hit our apexes. That's all we can do, and just try to put in as quick of a lap time as we can, as we're going to get pressured all lap from the Argentina TRT. So heading down the straight, luckily we did build a little gap away from him, as we had about a 0.7 second gap away from TRT. But you can see that he was able to just immediately close that up, as he's only about half a second away from us as we start working our way through the mountains. So just checking on the radar, seeing where he is at on position. He's now closed the gap to about 3/10 right here as we head up to the peak of the mountain. And again, I'm just kind of sweating bullets here, because I want to make sure that we're hitting all of our marks, but at the same time I had to keep an eye on the radar to make sure he doesn't go for the most optimistic lunge into one of these corners. But I feel a little bit great as we head down the downhill section of the mountain. I was just making sure he wasn't going to ram us from behind, to just break it as late as we can. And look at that, we hit that beautifully as we actually extend our gap away from the Argentinian, but just don't think it's going to be enough. He's still within a striking distance, as he has the slipstream here down this straight. So 0.4 of a second is the gap away from us and TRT as we make our way to the right hand side, shift to the left. We're just trying to zigzag our way down this straight to try to break the toe, but it's not working to its full advantage, as we are able to kind of hold on the inside, break as late as we can to the chicane. We get hit from behind, and that is game over for us, or is it, as we head down the grass, able to get back onto the track. But you can see that we have dirty tires as the Argentinian gets a really great run off of the corner, but he does a good player move right there, as he just backs out right there, make sure he doesn't get around us or punch us out again. As we head down into the line, we're going to be able to hold down that 6th place position, and the Argentinian finishes in 8th right behind penalty system. So last lap drama that's as big of a drama you can get. As you can see, just heading into the chicane, we defended the inside, and he just missed his braking point, good GG to him for just slowing down and making sure he doesn't get around us due to that. I don't think he wanted to get around us like that, but he just let us have the position, and we were able to come home with a P, Steve. So drama-filled race. We started off in 9th. A lot of overtakes were done when we were on the softs, but like I said, when we switched off to mediums, maybe if we flip-flopped the tire compound, we probably could have been strong towards the end. But hey, like I said, I'll take this piece, Steve, especially with all the mess that we had to deal with on those final couple of laps. So shout out to everybody who was in this race. It was a really fun race, a lot of clean racing, but a couple of dirty tactics that happened. I'm not going to say any names, but you guys saw it on the video. But let me know what you guys thought about the race, or let me know how you guys think about this week in general in the comments down below. And if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. We just hit 5,000 subscribers, and I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. If you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, hope to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.